Hello everyone, welcome back to a new day, a new video, and I'm very excited because I am finally just going to be yapping about the story that I'm currently working on. Okay, so a few things. One, I know I probably sound like really gross and nasally. I've been having really bad allergies, so just bear with me. Also, I tried something new, surprise surprise, for this video. I have two videos that I need to edit and record at the time I'm doing this, so yay, I might put out two videos today, or I don't know, maybe for today and tomorrow. But I wanted to try something new. I actually tried screen recording my iPad screen for this, and at first I didn't think it was gonna work out, but I think for like single speed paint things, or just I don't know, but you know what I mean. I think I might try doing more screen recorded stuff instead of just like pulling my like the speed paints directly from IBIS, because like I want to make the speed paints longer, and like the longest you can make them on IBIS Paint is 5 minutes, and I want it to be longer than 5 minutes, you know? I just realized I was talking really fast. But I do have another video to work on. It is a part 2 to a different video. It's not the 10 different styles ones. I still have 3 more styles to do for that because I'm a procrastinator. But we're not here to talk about those other videos. We're not here to talk about anything else. We're here to finally talk about the story that I'm working on. I have been wanting to make a video to tell you guys about this story ever since I released my first video back in December of 2023. I've almost been doing YouTube for 2 years now. Okay, so I don't know if I ever mentioned the title of this story at all. I know I've shown you guys some of the illustrations I've done for it, especially in like my past like gallery tours. I've actually changed my gallery around a little bit. I've actually made folders for individual stuff. But so the title for this story, or I guess we could call it a book. I have 14 chapters written. I plan on having at least 20 chapters for the book, so I still have a couple more to plan out. There might be more, I don't know. But this story is called The Sun and Moon School of Magic. Is it a Harry Potter dupe? Maybe. But is it unique? Yes. Okay, so the main character is the character that I'm drawing in the video. The main character, his name is Kurt Webster. Fun name, I know. So at the beginning he is 14 years old, and then his 15th birthday takes place I think at chapter 3 or 4, around that time. So he is 14 at the start of the story. He goes to a normal public school. He has 2 best friends whose names are Liam and Chase, and they're not the most studious people in the world. They tend to argue like a married couple about the stupidest things in the world, and he's just a third party member just sitting there. But the 3 of them, they're best buds. Kurt lives with his dad and his stepmom. He doesn't have a meme stepmom, don't worry. She's very nice. And he has an older brother. His name is Gabe. He's in the military. Well, the Navy, actually. So, the beginning of the story. So, Kurt's coming home from school one day with his dad. He goes up to his room to get changed. Also, Kurt has a cat. Her name is Midnight. She's like a fluffy black cat. So he goes in his room, says hi to Midnight, and as he's like getting like close to like go take a shower or something, he sees an owl outside his window. And it's not just like a normal owl. It's kind of like the owl kind of has like purple bluish feathers, and he's really interested in it. So he takes a picture of it for later. I think that's the most important thing that happened in chapter 1. But chapter 2 comes. His brother comes over for his birthday and for Christmas and stuff like that. His birthday is December 18th, by the way. And his birthday is actually pretty important to the story, so there's that. Anyway, so he spends time with his brother for most of the day, and then at night, I believe, he decides to go into the woods near his house. His house is surrounded by woods. kind of like a cabin house, but he decides to go into the woods, and it's snowing there. It's winter and it's cold, and he decides to go in and look for the owl. Or I think it's more that the owl, I don't remember if he went in to look for it or if the owl, like, if he just followed it into the woods. It's one of the two. But he finds it either way, and he follows it for a long time. And, you know, he's cold, he's like just wanting to go back to the house and all. But then the purple owl leads him to another owl, but it's injured. And so he picks up the injured owl, he tries to get home as quickly as possible, and he brings it to his stepmom, who is very good with like birds and animals. And so they take the owl and they start to nurse it back to health. Fast forward a little bit, it's his birthday. They had a party. Gabe's fiance and future in-laws come in. His friends come. They like have like a little bonfire outside. They eat pizza, ice cream, all the fun stuff. And then right as he's about to go to bed, he sees the owl again and decides to get dressed and follow it again back into like the snowy cold. And this is where kind of the magical stuff starts to happen. The owl leads him into the center of the woods, and he sees a woman there, but she's not like entirely human, and she introduces herself as his mother in a way. I'll get into more detail on who this woman is a little bit later after we go over like the basic like start of the story, but this woman, she introduces herself as Luna, and she says that she is the daughter of the moon. So she's not the moon, she's the daughter of the moon, you know? And she basically she's the one that tells him about like the fact that has magic, and she's the one that tells him that he needs to go to the school that teaches magic. And so it'd be pretty hard not to. I'm thinking like, would he immediately believe her? Well, yes, he would, because like she literally like appeared and then like reappeared like randomly. Does that make sense? So anyway, so she tells him that the owl will take him through the woods to the school because of magic, you know. So he goes back, he packs his stuff, and she tells him that like his family will know somehow that she will take care of it and stuff like that. So he like he gets midnight, he packs her some sweaters, I think, because he likes putting sweaters on her, and he follows the owl back into the woods. And after a while, the woods, like the trees, kind of start to disappear, and like not fields, like instead of trees, there's like white flowers everywhere. And then the white flowers start to become the size of trees, and then he's eventually led down a path that leads to a very big manor. And on the gate, there's the sign that says the Sun and Moon School of Magic. Now, once he arrives at the school, I'm not going to give away too much for what happens at the school, because that's where like the whole plot goes in, and I don't want to spoil it. But once he arrives at the school, there's a couple of key characters that he meets. So the first person he meets there is one of the teachers. The teachers are called guardians, and her name is Ariel Oceanus, and she's probably the youngest teacher there. She's the one that welcomes him, gets him registered, gets another student to give him a tour, and she gets his uniform and everything. Excuse me. She's the first person he meets. Then the next person the important person that he meets is August, who is the school butler, and he's like a very proper guy, you know, one of those guys. But he's a cool butler. He's gonna be a cool butler. But he takes him to his dorm. Then once Kurt comes down from his dorm, he meets, I guess we could say like the bully character. His name is Javier, I think. Yeah, his name is Javier. Why am I saying I think? His name is Javier. He basically gets mad at Kurt for accidentally spilling hot chocolate all over his uniform. And then another guardian comes to rescue him. And this guardian, his name is, he's a very important character. This guardian's name is Jasher Black. So this professor or guardian, he kind of looks intimidating. He's like only 30, but he looks pretty, like, I describe him as having a prematurely lined face. So, like, he's young, but, he looks a bit older than he actually is. So he takes Kurt to his office. They talk. He's very friendly. Gives him hot chocolate. Spoiler alert, this guardian has an addiction to hot chocolate. Anyway, a couple days go by. So the way the school actually works is that they don't have a summer break. They actually stop their school. Like, they start on the new year and then they end 1st of October. So yeah, they basically have school all throughout the summer. So that's how their school works. Anyway, a couple days go by. He gets his Christmas presents sent to him by his family. So first day of school, right? He comes down to breakfast. He's really scared. And the next two characters that he meets are going to be two of his best friends, and they're a pair of twins. It's Avery and Annabelle. So Avery is the guy twin. They're about 15 years old as well. So Avery's the guy twin. So both of them are very cheery, very charismatic, hyper. Avery's the more hyper out of the two. He's very carefree and not the most studious person in the world. Annabella's pretty studious. They have the same personality, but she's more responsible. For example, Avery has a terrible diet. He eats junk literally at every single meal, and she keeps telling him, you're gonna die, you're gonna get diabetes, you're killing yourself and stuff like that. So that's the two of them. So they're similar, but they're different at the same time, Now Kurt and the twins do have different first period classes, so they're not in the same class, but in his next first period classes where he meets another very important character, and her name is Marisol. So by the way, Marisol is actually the younger sister of Javier, the bully character. So Marisol, she's I'm just gonna say right now, she's gonna be his love interest. They're kind of they're besties, but they're also secretly crushing on each other, But she's very very calm, very kind, very supportive, especially of Kurt. She tries to be there for him when he's overwhelmed or anxious, and she's always supporting him, She's also one of the smarter students in the class. Her and Kurt are considered top students in their year. And in Guardian Black, he even invites both of them to his office and expresses his interest in both of them. And so yeah, Marisol is another very important character. Now there's other characters that he meets, the Mayflowers, who are a married couple and are teachers. There's Nina, who he actually met before the twins and Marisol and Guardian Black. She's the one that gave him a tour of the manor, or the school, I guess we could say. There's other characters he meets, but I want to get into the lore, I guess we could say. So I'm running a little short on time, so I'm going to try to be quick. So there's the sun and the moon. The lore behind how... Okay, so there's a prophecy, I guess we could say. The sun and the moon, they basically looked down upon humanity and saw that they were very evil, and they both shed a tear. And those tears both fell to different parts of the world. I think the suns fell somewhere in the Middle East, and the moons landed... I think I decided that it landed in Greece, I think. But both of the tears turned into flowers, and the sun and the moon told the flowers to take on physical forms. And so Solis is the son of the sun, and Luna is the daughter of the moon. And they had their children, who are kind of angel-like creatures. They're considered angels. And so and I think I said that in my head I have this thing where they're angels. their kids eventually started to like fall in love with humans, which is how all the magical people that we see started to prop up. The people who are, so they're called either children of Solis or Luna. If you're a child of Solis, you're called a Luz, and if you're a child of Luna, you're called a Tenebris. And by the way, children of Luna are mostly girls, and children of Solis are mostly boys. So yeah, there's also the concept of solar and lunar energy, and that's basically like and that's something that has to do with like the character's blood. So like if you have like solar energy, you're a Luz. If you have lunar energy, you're a Tenebris. And if the amount of energy that you have in your blood can actually determine a lot. For example, Kurt has like 98% lunar energy in his blood, and the more lunar or solar energy you have in your blood, the less human you actually are. And I do have a character that has 100% lunar energy. She's not in the story yet. I think I'm gonna save her for the second book. But yeah, if you have 100% lunar energy or solar energy, you are basically not human at all. And there is a magical community that so there's like people that like know, like that come from magical family, kind of like in Harry Potter, where you have like people that grew up in like the magical community and are like surrounded by like the magic and stuff like that. And then there's like people that don't come from that and stuff like that, but you get what I mean. And another way of, well, I just don't know what I'm saying. I'm just rambling at this point. The way that students usually are brought to the school is that, like, whether they're a child of Solis or Luna, Solis or Luna will appear to them physically and will tell them, like, that they're magical and that they need to go to the school. And if you're a child of Solis, instead of being led by an owl, you're led by a phoenix. So, yeah. There are a lot of other aspects of this story that I would like to talk about. I should have planned what I was going to talk about. I should have made a script of everything I wanted to talk about. But I didn't, because I have had this footage sitting in CapCut for a while, and I just really needed to get it done. So, yeah. But I hope you guys enjoyed hearing about the story. I hope you guys like my main character, Kurt. I love him. He's my baby. He's adorable in my eyes. There's also other important characters to the plot that I don't want to give away, but yeah, maybe I want to show you guys the actual story so you guys can actually read it. It's still in like its first draft, I guess we could say. It still needs to be edited and all of that, but yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed this. Maybe I'll find a way for you guys to actually read my story. Maybe I'll just like post the chapters on community posts and stuff like that so you guys can read them. But yeah, this is my main character, Kurt, and I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I gotta work on the other video. Like I said, I have another video that I gotta edit and record for, but that won't be as long as this one, thankfully. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed my story, and I'm gonna let you guys watch the rest of the speed paint, and I'm gonna go because I have another video to edit, so bye!